all of you for being with us. As I was sitting and offering a prayer to my beloved spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, a thought came to my mind. A beautiful example of the power of intent. A seed was planted in the great city of Calcutta. In 1922, on the rooftop or terrace of a very small building, one out of hundreds and thousands of buildings in Calcutta, a young man who had just recently been married and had his first child, named Abhay Charan, for the first time in his life met who was to become his eternal Guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When Abhay bowed down before Srila Saraswati Thakur, before he could even get up from his bowing position, he was given an order. You are an intelligent young man. You should spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in the English language all over the world. Is that something you tell someone at the first moment of your meeting, before there was even an introduction to exchange names? Srila Prabhupada at the time was a very sincere follower of Mahatma Gandhi. He was part of that revolutionary movement for Indians' independence. He said to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that who will listen to our message if we are a subordinate, ruled over nation? First, we should gain independence. Then, India will have a platform to speak to the world. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said politics are always changing. Who rules, who's in power, who's subjugated. But there is an eternal truth that cannot wait for anything to change. That eternal truth is that we are eternal souls. Najayate mriyate vakadachin. The Atma, the soul, the living force, is never born and never dies. It is eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss, Satchidananda. Mamayavamso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. We are all part of God, part of Krishna. And our deepest instinct and our highest potential is to awaken the love of God that is within us. When we love God, it is like watering the root of the tree. Our love extends to every part of the tree, all the flowers, leaves, and twigs in the form of every living being and all of creation. That is the Sanatana Dharma. That is the eternal occupation and the greatest need within this world. Unless we address this problem of the disease of avidya, or ignorance of who we are and what is our relation with God and what is our true relationship with each other, then whatever solutions we make to the problems in this world, it is only cosmetic. It is not sustainable. If you have a disease in your blood, it creates boils. It is important to treat the boil. But unless you treat the root cause, the blood disease, then even if the boil goes away by medication, another one will come, and another one will come, and another one will come. We stop one war, and there's another war. We treat one crime, and there's another crime. The need is a change of heart to realize who we are. Brahma bhuta prasanatma nasokchati nakankshati. When we realize our own eternal nature, the platform of Brahman, then we become peaceful. We become joyful. Nasokchati nakankshati. We are no longer dependent on temporary pleasures for our satisfaction. Sometimes hankering for what we don't have, and other times lamenting for what we don't have, or for what we lose. To be satisfied within. Param dristvani vartate, to experience that higher taste of loving Krishna, loving the absolute, all-attractive, beautiful object of everyone's love. That is what everyone wants. That is what everyone needs. But due to in this material world, to being subjugated to the weapons of mass distraction, we are constantly distracted from what we really want. And we're chasing after so many mirages in the desert of this existence, not knowing that the real oasis is within ourselves. He explained these things. He said, this is the eternal need of the soul. People are living and dying without understanding the opportunity of the human life to realize our eternal relation with God and be liberated from all these dualities. Now is the time. Srila Prabhupada listened, and he was convinced. He was convinced that Lord Chaitanya has sent to this world a suitable person to spread his message. It was at that moment that Srila Prabhupada accepted him as his guru and accepted his order as his life and soul. What was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's intention? He had the intention of compassion. Out of his love for people of all castes, of all religions, of all sectors of society in India and throughout the entire planet Earth, he gave this instruction to this young newly married man. And Srila Prabhupada took that intention of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and made it his intention. He had a responsibility with family. He had to raise children. He had a job as a pharmacist. He worked for Dr. Bose's laboratory here in Calcutta. He had to go to different parts of India. And eventually, when everything became the right time, in 1965, he returned from Bombay, from Vrindavan actually. He came to Calcutta to the King George dockyards, where he boarded the MV Jaladuta for a 38 voyage across 2 oceans and 3 continents. He had $7, in those days 40 rupees, and he didn't know a soul outside of India. The seed of that intention of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was planted in his heart, and it remained within his heart for 43 years before he got on the boat to execute it. Imagine that. A seed laying apparently latent for 43 years. And finally, when he came to New York, he was living in a ghetto called the Bowery because he had nothing. The alcoholics, the homeless, the drug addicts who he was living among, they knew this man is a scholar and a saint. They would open the door for him. And gradually he had students who were in their teens and early 20s. He was 71 at the time. They were the age of his grandchildren. He served them. He cooked for them. He preached to them. He appreciated them. He loved them. And through that love, he empowered them with his intention. With the intention that he received from his guru and meditated on for 43 years, now he was sharing that intention of compassion with his own little students. And these people who ate meat every day of their lives would only take Krishna Prasad vegetarian. They had boyfriends and girlfriends all over the place. Some of them became celibate or got married to be faithful to one husband or one wife. People who were taking marijuana, ganja, hashish, LSD, practically like they were drinking water. They took vows